Maybe it's the opening of backyard pools or the smell of barbecue in the air, but this past week AEW felt refreshing, and a lot of it had to do with their title programs. On Dark, we got to see a badass Women's Championship Eliminator match between Thunder Rosa and Miyu Yamashita. We also got to see Pac's first All-Atlantic title defense against Shota Umino in what looked like an underground fight club. No, not that one. Then, on Dynamite, we got a fresh TNT title matchup between Orange Cassidy and Wardlow, and a surprise tag title change in the main event between the Young Bucks, Swerve in Our Glory, and Powerhouse, Hobbs, and Ricky Starks. There's just a lot of fun and refreshing stuff going on right now to my eyes, and I want to take a few minutes to talk about it. So first off, it's just cool that AEW would let their women's champion travel to Japan and wrestle in another company's ring against that company's ace, and lose, with Taz and Excalibur commentating over the action no less. And now we're guaranteed a rematch between Rosa and Yamashita in the States on AEW television? Heck yeah! I loved this match not only because it was a very good competitive wrestling contest, but because it looked different from other things we get on AEW TV. The company has of course done this before with the Japanese bracket of the Women's Eliminator Tournament in the past. It felt fresh then, and it felt fresh now. Later on in the show, we traveled to Sheffield, England to see Pac vs Shota Umino in a Rev Pro ring. This did wonders for presenting Pac as a traveling champion who will take on anyone, anywhere, and it furthered the relationship between AEW and New Japan. Both of these matches illustrated one of the greatest strengths of AEW, which is its love of pro wrestling from all around the world and its commitment to helping it grow. I've mentioned before that the whole point of this enterprise is to spread the gospel of pro wrestling, and AEW's helping to do that while elevating other talents and promotions in the process. I hope to see more of this stuff in the future. Moving on to Dynamite, I am so happy that Wardlow is TNT champion. His match with Orange Cassidy felt like drinking a cool glass of water, saying orange juice would have been way too easy, after being forced to drink mud for months with almost every segment we got involving Sammy, Ty, and American Top Team. Thankfully, that regretful period is a thing of the past. Wardlow is a fresh face who is over with fans, and I believe the booking will continue being behind him as he continues building the prestige of the TNT title. He just needs to continue being in matches every 2 or 3 weeks where he gets to make his opponent look good while coming out victorious in the end. It's a simple formula, and wrestling is often best when it's kept simple. I'm really happy for Wardlow, who by all accounts is loved and respected backstage, and who has said he wants to be the person who carries AEW for years to come. You can't help but root for someone like that, and when he's performing the way he is, and is as over as he is, and is getting the booking that he is, I'm just glad to have him on screen, and to feel like the TNT title is in good hands for the first time in well over half a year. Finally, I'd be shocked if there were more than 1 or maybe 2% of people who expected the Young Bucks to lose the tag team titles to Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee this week. I certainly wasn't one of them. Heck, if anyone was going to beat the Bucks in that match, I figured it would have been Starks and Hobbs, who have just continued to click for me and who feel like they've hit another level of star power since starting their feud with Swerve and Lee a few months back. Really, I hope there is AEW gold in their near futures, because they feel like they are on the cusp of greatness and are just ready to run with that higher tier. When it comes to Hobbs in particular, I wasn't ready to say that even a year ago, but after that frog splash and his recent performances on the mic alongside Ricky, yeah, he's ready. Back to Swerve and Lee, I'm ecstatic for them. They're both unique performers who look and move unlike anyone on the roster, and who deserve to get their due after years of hard work and for being able to get over in AEW in a relatively short amount of time. And while I fully expect them to break up, maybe even before the summer's done, could just be a summer romance, it was cool to see them get this moment and to get it in this way. One of the criticisms of AEW is that match results can feel too predictable. Well, this certainly wasn't one of those times, and while you could call it a swerve, it felt like a good, feel-good surprise. Good feel-good. You know what I mean. Anyway, I'd say that the summer season is off to a good start in AEW. Fresh matches, fresh champions, and fresh results. It really does feel like the company has hit the refresh button to keep things interesting for fans, as I'm looking forward to seeing how all 4 of these title runs play out in the long term. But what do you think? Was it too soon to take the titles off the Bucks? Is Wardlow's TNT title rehab working for you in the early going? And how do you feel about AEW programming in general in the early parts of this summer? Jump in the pool and let me know in the comments. Until next time, if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it.